ho ho! Merry Shitmas!
Merry Shitmas, everybody.
Welcome back to
Drag
Drag to Hell!
Mwahahaha.
With I, Connie Baffery,
And me, Lucifer.
and our special guest, my lovely daughter, Miss Coco Macabre. Sorry, Coco Macabre.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody.
Coco Macabre.
Coco
Yeah,
Macabre.
sure.
We're gonna tie with some knots.
I do like macrame. Or macrame.
Whatever crap it is. All I know is you tie knots.
You tie knots.
And you make something that's potentially useful or pretty.
Yep. Yep, that's it.
The only knot tying I know is at the end of a condom.
I never mastered that.
Pretty good at the whole noose knot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't cover that at Girl Guides.
See, your noose should have exactly 7 twists. That is a true noose. Otherwise, you're just doing a giant slip knot.
The catcher's knot.
Yeah.
You should do an episode on him.
We should. That would be an interesting tale.
So, what are we going to be being educated on today? Because I, like the people, would love to.
Well, I think today we should discuss all things Christmas, from nativity to disembowelment.
Ooh.
Christmas is a magical time.
And Christmas does have a dark side.
And it also has a somewhat molestery side too.
Oh dear.
Christmas goes through every which part of the body. They say embrace the Christmas spirit, and you might not want to embrace some of these spirits.
Oh dear.
From
Well, that being said, I feel like there's a disclaimer here. There may be things that are uncomfortable to listen to, things that you may or may not want to hear. Just go forward listening to this aware of that.
A lot of children having horrible things happen to them.
and sometimes adults.
Yeah. Just
And-
big children.
And adults in costumes doing things to children. My childhood.
Oh dear.
I've been triggered already.
Yay, triggering. Well, I think first of all we should discuss the magical Christmas story, virginal birth.
Oh, virginal birth.
That was virginal, not vaginal.
Surely it was vaginal at some point.
Well, we never
Yeah,
got told
somewhere.
that she pushed him out, or that he popped
He
out.
just appeared.
Here, she was, yeah. Did he just teleport out of the tummy? It's never clarified. You don't hear of her pushing out the afterbirth or anything. Or of her waters breaking. She rode a donkey. I can guarantee you any woman who was in labour would not be riding a fucking donkey.
That's valid.
This is what happens when men run the world and they write all the history.
Yeah.
Like, it came out her belly button.
Is that how
She gave
belly...
birth. I don't know how that works, but
Maybe that's how belly buttons were made.
Maybe.
Because because Adam and Eve, they weren't born, so did they have belly buttons?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. We're on to the fabrics of
So,
space and time. We know, we're on to you.
because Isaac begat lots of biblical names that were taught to me, but I don't remember. But we should go with the magical virginal birth, because there's a dark side to that story too.
there is.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Have you not read any of the conspiracy theories?
No.
So there's actually tales where instead of God sending an angel to proclaim to Mary that she was pregnant with his child, Satan had sent a demon up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
shit.
so Satan impregnated Mary.
Ha.
But God, that's why God needed Jesus to die for original sin. Because original sin was tainted by Satan.
Girl.
Where's this idea come from?
So this has actually started in the early 1700s.
That changes everything.
And when you think about it, it sounds a lot more logical than the other story.
Yeah, why would he send his own son to die?
Yeah.
It's so manipulative.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
damn.
Satan, like Lucifer, was one of God's children. He's one of his high angels.
God.
So Jesus is still technically God's son, just grandson.
Is Lucifer an archangel? Or no?
Yeah, archangel. He was God's right-hand angel or left hand. I can't remember which
He
side.
was the left.
Yeah, and the other one was Michael. Lefties are the devil's minions. That's right.
Mm.
There we go.
I-
That comes from
You
fucking
heard it
Sunday
here
school.
first. Lucifer says yes to left-handism.
So Jesus is the spawn of Satan.
Yes, and therefore the story of the Antichrist. So Mary Magdalene would bore the Antichrist if Jesus slept with her. Think about it. Because that one wouldn't know he had to kill himself.
Satan's grandson.
Yeah.
Imagine Satan as a granddad.
Oh, daddy.
Granddad.
Granddaddy.
Oh, I'm just picturing Satan with like a nice full beard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Silver fox.
Yeah.
Oof. Salt and pepper and stuff.
Oh,
Oof.
and those horns would be extra hard from all those years of calcifying more. Oof. Satan granddaddy.
Granddaddy Satan.
But yes, that's one of the original conspiracy theories of Christmas.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And just the looks on your faces is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Raises
much.
So many questions.
And then
like, what would happen in the apocalypse then? Because then the Antichrist is meant to.
it's a family fight. It's just a giant family feud.
Game of Thrones.
Essentially.
Game of Thrones, the Christian edition.
Well, I mean, Daenerys gave birth to dragons. Was she Mary?
Will be when I have children. So that'll be the nativity. When I have
Excellent.
children, we're gonna watch the story of Christmas, showing Game of Thrones.
Puts Game of Thrones on.
And this is what
Mary.
and this is how your wedding's gonna go down.
Damaris.
And if someone betrays you, pour gold on their head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I mean, he was the King of Kings.
He got his golden crown. That's all he wanted.
That's what Grandpa Satan was like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jason
Momoa. Granddaddy
Well,
Satan.
it's not even Momoa. Like, the first person who interviewed him would have been like, so this is Jason. And they're like, Momoa, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it's disrespectful to Polynesian.
No, I know, but like, I mean, like
They were stumbling over how
stumbling
hot he
over
was.
how delicious he was. Like, but like, I mean, like, it's pretty damn fine.
Well, thinking of
Well, no, of course, his name is Jason Momoa, but like,
yeah. But speaking of long tongues, there's one very famous long-tongued Christmas demon.
is this the creature I saw last night?
The creature of your dreams. Krampus.
Krampus.
Gruß von Krampus.
Or Krampus for the people who can't understand dialect.
Fuck you. So,
It's more fun to see Krampus.
yeah, Krampus is so much fun. So Krampus is from Central Europe primarily, but he kind of spread during the Bohemian Empire. He kind of spread across the whole central and eastern part of Europe, and kind of spread also into Russia.
Really?
So there are, like, around Chechnya and then into the southern parts of Russia, there are tales of Krampus.
And are they all called Krampus, or are they variations on?
There are variations, but it's mainly Krampus, Krampus, Krampa, but
Cramp something.
yeah, Krampen.
I know that then it gets into like Perkton
And the Perkton,
creatures and
yeah,
there's some great
Krampus's
pictures on
wife, some say.
Yeah,
Huh. So I'm gonna sit back and learn
yes.
for this topic.
Get
'cause
ready.
All I know about Krampus is that there's a parade or something, and they
Yes.
all dress up and walk down the
Krampus
street.
Nacht.
Maybe that's
Yes.
all I know. That's as vast as my knowledge on Krampus goes.
Every year on December 5th, Krampus comes to someone's house.
Yes.
Not just someone, everyone's house.
Ooh.
So Krampus is, to describe, tall, furry, goat-legged, horned, long tongue, carries a bundle of birch sticks, and either a sack or a basket to carry the children away in.
Huh.
To the underworld. Shut the fuck up.
So Krampus is the tall, goat-legged cousin, or father, or brother, or sister sometimes, of Saint Nick. But others say he's also a slave.
Ooh.
But I feel like he's a companion. Because one has a nice list, one has a naughty list.
Or like,
and they work in tandem.
Is it like Santa's pet? And it's like, go get the kid.
What? Yeah, it's kind of like more of a
Symbiotic relationship, I'd
it's
say.
not like he's heard because traditionally he has multiple Krampuses.
Well,
He's
it
not heard of them.
depends. There's the multiple Kramp. Is it Krampuses or Krampi or Krampens? Could be any. What's the correct pluralization of Krampus?
Well,
I'm going to say Krampuses
our
because it sounds more
Rydner,
fun.
our Rydner calls Krampuses in his books.
Yeah. Traditionally, I know in my family's culture with Christmas, you would, on the 5th of December, you would put your shoes out the front door, and if you'd been good, Saint Nick would leave a silver nickel in your left shoe. If you had been bad, he would leave nothing in your shoes, and you know that Krampus would be coming.
Wait, coming in your shoe?
Ew, Krampus has come.
Gooches. So, okay, why the 5th of December? Because I thought Krampus was like a Christmas.
That's a very good question.
I think it's because St. Nicholas Day is, I think, actually the 5th of December. Let's have a look at it up. Because I'm pretty sure St. Nicholas Day is the 5th of December.
Well, this might be a good time to mention that, like, Christmas or Yuletide, midwinter solstice, all that is much older than the birth of Christ as a festival.
Gasp!
What?
There was something
The
before
church-
Christ?
The church didn't invent something?
I know, dear fucking God.
Yeah.
So there's probably a very old,
Yeah.
pre-Christian rituals that were happening around that time, and then
Okay.
the church just came in and went, no, this needs to be about our thing, so
As they always
Like
do.
everything else.
yeah. But also, we don't want to fight you about it, so we'll just change that.
Yeah. So, looked it up. The 6th of December is St. Nicholas Day.
Cool.
So Krampus.
So Krampus comes before
Well,
Nicholas.
yeah.
Wipes out all the bad children.
Yeah.
and
Obliterate
yeah,
them.
sets everything up.
Well, the story of Krampus is very long and it varies between different cultures. Slightly, but the gist of it is generally Krampus will come and if you have been naughty, you would either, depending on how naughty you were, you would either be whipped with the birch sticks, scared by Krampus, dragged to hell by Krampus, or killed by Krampus.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, just like straight up murdered in your bed.
Yep.
Does he just
Wow.
like eat them or?
Well, that's what some things say, and then others don't. Like, I know in, like, the Czech culture, because that's what I was raised with, you would be put into his sack and taken to his dungeon to live forever, or you would be killed.
Wow.
But I know the really naughty children get dragged to hell and
Shit.
punished for a day and then brought back. So,
Yo.
One day it felt like 100 years.
I've been gone for 160 years. How long has it been here? 6 seconds? Narnia reference.
5. Yeah.
The children of Narnia lived there until they were adults. Went through puberty, then walked back through the cupboard and they were children again. They'd have to go through puberty again.
That
Ugh,
would suck.
no, thank you.
I'd go, I want to go back through the cupboard. I wonder if they went back through the cupboard, would they be adults again, or would they be some
I
super
could
legend?
imagine
I'm
that
pretty sure they're kids again, because then they go back.
they
to
do.
Prince Caspian.
Yeah, they're kids.
Are
They're
they
kids
kids
again.
again?
Yeah.
But didn't one of them stay behind? In
No.
one of them?
You
In a
might
long
be thinking
time.
of the end when Susan gets left out. And they go to heaven, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Susan's not coming.
It's because Susan went to hell.
Yeah.
She knows what she did.
All
Yeah,
those
she-
ungodly,
Sinner.
fawn, satyr children that she had, probably. She had a thing for Mr. Tumless, let's all admit it.
I mean, who didn't? James McAvoy.
Well, look, let's just look on that subject.
Goat Man. Yes.
Literally, fawns in mythology are known for playing the fucking
Pan flute.
the pan flutes, and luring children in to molest them.
Mm.
Therefore,
Well, anybody,
what happened
really.
behind the scenes when he took Lucy back to his house and drugged her?
I always had questions about that.
Like,
Yeah.
And
I
then
have.
she wakes up and he's like, I'm such a naughty fawn. I'm such a bad fawn. It's
Yes,
like,
what
what?
the
What?
hell? I'm reading between the lines
Yeah.
here, and the fact that Narnia is like biblically based, I'm like, this is questionable.
The virginal birth.
Ugh.
Jesus
Yeah.
had goat legs. There we go. They
Yeah.
just left that tail out of the Bible.
That's why he always has those long robes.
Yeah.
Oh,
To hide.
shit, it's covering his
But-
hoofs.
They could always hear Jesus coming.
They could. Clip, clop, clip, clop.
Again, I'm just like, was he a screamer or?
Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe he liked the pain. That's why he was crucified.
It was just ultimate BDSM.
Yeah.
Taken too far.
Okay, I think we should get back onto the
Back to
topic.
Krampus.
Back to
Well, you know,
Krampus.
Goat Man, BDSM is pretty much
Yeah.
Krampus. But speaking of Goat Man, I did have a note about that because
Go for it.
that you may have seen depictions of Krampus as this like black, furry, goat hoofed little dude, and that comes from this thing called Krampus carton,
Okay.
which was a big thing. It's kind of how the internet then got hold of, oh, Krampus is a thing, and it spread, and that's why we all know about it because people started posting pictures of these Krampus cards,
Yeah.
and these got sent out around the Victorian era.
Yeah. It was around the late 18th, early 19th onwards they started to appear.
Yeah,
They're very cute and
they're
whimsical,
very
actually.
cute and whimsical. So I feel like that's. I wanted to mention it because I feel like that's what most people will picture
Yeah.
Krampus. And I've got some pictures here, Lucy, for you.
So cute.
Ah,
this is kinda
beautiful.
Cute little Krampus.
And you got those like little Christmas cards.
Yeah, and it's because like around this time there was a big thing about Greek mythology was very popular.
Yeah.
And you got Pan and
And the
You
Christian
weren't
church
kidding.
was.
He has a really long tongue.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
But however, more old traditional. These guys that did these illustrations on these cards were just like these were in the cities. They were just hearing about these rural practices of Krampus.
Yeah. We'll
Right.
post these up on Instagram.
Yes. So out in like the Alps and towns, they were dressing up a bit more like this.
Oh.
Because you were meant to scare children.
Well, that would definitely do it. Oh, it's like Chewbacca, but like scary.
Horned and scary.
More than scary.
This is Chewbacca when he's horny.
Yeah.
Bad Wookiee. Bad. Get down.
Back to like sexual weird beasts.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So that's why, because it really annoys me that was it that Krampus movie that came out?
Oh.
I only watched that for the first time the other day. I didn't even know it existed.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw it and I messaged you straight after. I said, what the fuck was that? And then I found out there's a second one.
There's a sec. Oh god. Okay.
And it has none of the same actors or anything in it. And then there's another Krampus movie. There's one of Krampus versus Santa.
Oh
That'd be
my
cool.
god.
No. It's really bad. It ends up being a small Santa who's gone on a psychotic rage and is killing everyone in there and then gets arrested by the police.
Is he? So then is he Krampus?
No, he's just delusional.
Okay.
So is he envisioning that other
Yeah,
people
he
are
envisions
Krampus?
someone and goes, Krampus, the evil spirit of Christmas.
Oh.
Or something like that. And I'm just like,
I wonder what his happens.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people like, oh yeah, I know Krampus.
yeah,
No.
they picture the red coat and someone furry
Yeah,
underneath.
it's like a zombie thing,
And-
looking thing, and it's like,
No, think more demonic.
very more fur.
Yeah,
See, that's cool.
but
So, you mentioned, like, multiple...
yeah, Krampus. There are multiple Krampuses in a lot of original tales because they would accompany him and he would send them out, like to go to the children's bad houses. And this led to like the Krampusnacht and Krampuslauf, which is the runs.
Yeah, big parade.
Oh,
Yeah.
see? That's
Yeah.
cool.
So they get the main street, and then people who like work on these costumes all year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the video I'd seen, some of the costumes were absolutely
Yeah,
incredible.
they are.
So
Drag
there's
queens
always-
were like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
definitely. But there's literally always that one person who just like slaps on a pair of horns and thinks they're like part of it.
yeah. Like, well, we'll let you do it this time, but next time.
We'll
Yeah.
execute you publicly.
As we were saying, like Krampus was around the time of the winter solstice.
Yes. Which
And-
should we explain what that is to people? Or we pretty sure they know.
If they're listening to this, they should have a rough idea. But
Yeah.
Lucy looks kind of blank.
That's just my face, babe.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's because half of it doesn't work. So, the easiest way to explain the winter solstice without going into too much paganism and druidism, as we have learned, we're not allowed to talk about religion on this. Cults are fine and Christianity is fine, but we can't talk about other religions.
Let's talk about Satan, Jesus, till the cows come home.
Yeah. So the winter solstice is when the Earth and all of the Earth is at an equal part away from the sun. So it makes the winter day longer for the southern hemisphere, and the northern hemisphere has its summer solstice on the same day
yeah.
because the
Yeah,
poles are
See,
opposite.
that makes sense. See, I've heard people talk about it, but I'm always just
Yeah.
been like, oh, okay, that's like a you thing.
So we'll be having our summer solstice, but it's winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, which is why they have a snowy Christmas.
I want to know.
The ancient people would have been like, hey, have you noticed there's this one day
Yeah.
every year and it's like middle of winter, but it's really long? We
Yeah.
should do something.
Yeah, we should burn effigies.
Yeah. And eat stuff. Drink
Yeah.
wine and have a grand old time.
Yeah.
What's that?
So Krampus would come, beat you, eat you. Depends on what he's doing. He's got a long tongue, so he might be someone who eats children out. We don't know. They don't mention this in any of the tales, but hey, it could be a possibility. History is written by the victors.
I wouldn't put it past Reddit to make that a thing.
Yeah, I'm probably sure there's probably even a 4chan account about it too.
We don't talk about
No, but that's exactly why we don't talk about 4chan. It took the Reddit line and then went over it. Just that little tiny bit. But Saint Nick would send off all the Krampen.
So they are essentially like his like little legion of pets or something.
Well, they did wear chains.
and big fuck off bells as well.
Yeah.
Do you know that kind of alpine thing of the goats and sheep and things?
But there are also
Know where they are.
legends of how to repel Krampus away from your house. Have you read those?
I have not.
So, copper.
Copper.
Put a copper pot out the front of your house.
That's unusual. It's usually
Because-
iron is the thing.
Yes. And but they're wearing iron shackles.
Ah.
So so the closest thing to iron was copper.
Ah.
And every household had a copper pot.
Is copper a compound or is it a pure metal on its own?
I'm not a geologist.
Do I look like a scientist?
That's a question for me to look up later. Yeah,
No,
'cause-
pure copper
Oh,
exists.
okay. 'cause that might
But
be.
copper can form and alloy freely with most metals.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because that's usually why, like, iron in folklore repels fairies and things because it's you have to smelt it down with various other things and blacksmith it, and it's kind of like a magical process that most people probably didn't understand.
But there's a lot of history around like copper being one of the things to repel evil spirits. So
cool. I mean, it's pretty cool looking.
I know, but apparently you could trap a Krampus in a copper pot overnight. And there's actually, I don't know.
How
but
big is that?
Big as this fucking pot.
Interestingly enough, they referenced it in American Dad.
Really?
Yes. So in one of the episodes, they're talking to Steve's being a bratty little Christmas kid. So Stan takes him to go visit his grandpa in jail, who tells him the story of Krampus. And he actually talks about how he trapped him in a copper pot by luring him in with one of his mother's strudels or something. And then basically they release Krampus and Krampus steals Steve. And they go to the palace, and the palace is like the Beauty and the Beast palace. And everything sings, and there's a massive shootout where everything gets killed. And then Krampus gets killed, and the grandfather gets killed, and their blood mingles, and he then becomes Krampus. Which I've not seen that before, but hey.
I like it.
I'm down for it. And Krampus sings a very awesome song about how he shouldn't be depicted as evil, he's just doing his job, trying to teach children how to be better.
Yeah, beating the shit out of
her. Lucy's dream job.
Yeah. What a flip of the script.
Okay, then we...
So you talk about...
Petra.
Yeah, you say Petra.
You say Petra.
I say Perktha or Bertha.
Yes.
That's the first one I heard of.
Yeah.
And I like Perktha.
Perktha does sound good, but I know Petra.
So is this another scary Christmas spirit?
Oh, yes. And guess which country this one comes from.
I'm gonna say something like Russia or Germany.
Yeah.
Germany, Austria.
And Slavic.
Yeah, it's Slavic too.
So
it would have during when like the Bohemia Empire was around, it would have spread around during all that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing with folklore stuff as well. It's like it just spreads, and as it's spreading, it morphs, and then it becomes something else. And she's kind of it gets to England, and then she becomes Mother Goose.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why did you lead the discussion on lovely
Perktha, or Frau Holla, or Bertha,
or Petra?
Is believed to come from the Old Norse, Germanic beliefs about. Is it Freya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so like Nordic.
Yeah, very Nordic.
Or Frigga.
Frigga, actually.
It probably is Frigga. Frigga would make more sense.
Yeah, because she was like Odin Wotan's wife, queen of the gods.
We should disclaim here, we were all out till 2 a.m. last night doing drag.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. But yeah, so that's probably where she originates from, and then it gets morphed, and as time goes on, she becomes this different thing. And then she became this kind of, she's either depicted as a beautiful queen of Christmas, snow
ethereal,
queen, ice, like Elsa, basically.
Oh, so is this where the Snow Queen comes from?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And she brings winter with her.
Okay.
Again, the winter solstice.
Yep.
Or she's a hideous old hag with a massive nose.
Massive mouth.
And
this might come to some shock. People would say that this depiction of her with the big mouth and that came from anti-Semitism.
I can believe that.
With the big mouth and the big nose.
Yeah.
Because us Jews are depicted with big nose, big mouth.
I think of her as a kind of Baba Yaga.
Yeah, Baba Yaga.
You heard of Baba Yaga?
No.
You should get into Slavic mythology.
Wait, so Baba Yaga, no.
Baba Yaga's one.
My brain went straight to Yubaba from.
Basically, think Yubaba.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where that comes from.
Because as soon as you describe
that's the inspiration.
with the big nose and stuff, like that's Yubaba from.
Well, that's who Frau is.
Okay.
So Baba Yaga is an old wood witch. We'll just put it
Yeah.
simple as that for the
Alright,
moment.
cool.
Yeah. The
That's
house
simply.
with the chicken feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Baba Yaga.
Shit.
But yeah, I think of it like this kind of common trope of this old woman who has all this knowledge and is therefore to be feared and contains magic.
And she has the spinning wheel of time.
Yeah, she's associated very much with spinning and cotton and
Weaving.
thread
She's
weaving.
actually seen as an omen of good luck in a lot of witch mythology and that as well. Because she was the original weaver of spells and time.
Weaving and witchcraft are kind of like
Hand in hand.
hand in hand, because if you look, have you ever seen a picture of a distaff?
Yes.
It's a weaving tool.
Yeah.
It's like they're like the wands from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
They're
like
just
one
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing you put all the fluff on,
Yeah.
and then you have your spindle, and that spins it into the thread.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a magic process, and then you can make clothes from it. And
Yeah.
that was a big thing around Christmas time, because throughout the year you do your spinning,
To have warm clothes for
have
winter.
warm clothes, and then throughout winter you're kind of stuck inside, so you're just like, okay, I'm going to do my sewing. And
Everything is so Christmas related. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
But Frau Petra hated the lazy housewife.
she did. And the greedy children.
Yes.
So,
And the mothers of greedy children.
Yes. But well, I'll get to that in a sec. But if you ate too much, or you're too greedy,
Girl, I do like my food.
well, you better watch out, because Perkta will come in the night with her knife and will open you up, take out your intestines, and fill you up with it's either garbage, rock, straw, and then she will magically sew you back up, so you won't even know.
Hence the sewing and
The sewing
weaving.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fucking psycho.
And then you'll feel like shit the next
Yes.
So
So overeating.
Normal night for me.
day.
Yes.
Normal Saturday
But
night.
she would join in with the Krampton. They would be one. They'd all be together, this little magical coven of
Yes.
things to punish and be good.
It's just the group of misfits going around on Christmas being like,
Pretty
let's
much.
break things.
Which leads us into the wild hunt.
So are they like all just anarchists that walking around
Essentially.
and just like
us.
envisioning goat people and this chick in like Doc Martens running around spray painting like
When we get
fuck Christmas.
Well,
look,
there
when
are
we get to
even
the
two-
Yule lads,
Oh,
that's you. You're Frau,
yeah, okay.
and I'm probably Bishel Snick. Bishel Snick.
Visual sneak. Visual sneak.
Belschnickel.
Bell snickle.
I'm probably Belschnickel, and that's a very
Bishel-
Belschnickel thing to do.
But yeah, you did this group of anarchists, because that's the other thing about Perkta, is she is followed around by the spirits of unbaptized babies. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. Sabrina,
Yes. The new ones do a reference.
there's a witch and she has invisible children.
Well,
Yes. That's a reference to it in the new Sabrina series.
well, yeah, I suppose that's related to.
But you said unborn.
Unbaptized.
Oh,
So they're
Until
children.
If you're not baptized, you can't go to heaven.
Yeah.
And you can't go to hell, so you go to
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Perkta's like, oh, you can hang out with me.
But the lazy mothers, or the lazy housewives, used to get punished too, in a much more sarcastic.
Okay, so what did she do?
Well, why don't you take this one? I want to know as much about that.
So,
I was all about the belly slitting and then I zoned out.
yeah. So, if you're a lazy mother, she would take your children and drown them.
Whoa.
Because you didn't deserve to have a
Okay.
child.
And then
Or she would make your house a mess, so that you had to clean it up.
Okay, so
she
literally,
is 0 to 100.
so
Yeah.
literally, she is in the new Sabrina
Yeah.
series on Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they
And
make
we'll talk
references.
about that more later too.
But basically, picture, I don't know, Martha Stewart gone mad.
I mean, Martha Stewart is mad.
Yeah, covered in.
I mean, she hasn't disemboweled any children that I know of.
I mean, she's been to prison, so
she's
like,
pretty handy with a knife. I
Mm,
wouldn't put it past her.
yeah. But she's very fun. But if you don't keep your house clean, she'll make it a mess. So you have to keep it clean.
Oh, you like mess? How do you like this mess?
Exactly. But the wild hunt.
Wild hunt.
Yeah, get to that. Tell me.
Okay. So again, Nordic
Okay.
originally.
Yeah.
And then again, the folklore thing. There's variations of it. Travel around the place. But in Norse mythology, Odin or Wotan.
Yep.
From.
Sorry.
What are you
I typed
laughing?
in the wild hunt into Google, and the first thing I saw was one of the things that it had Reddit, the wild hunt, the rave of the depraved soul. And it's essentially
There you go.
that.
That's it.
I just envision that gif of like all the cyberpunks under the bridge dancing to the Thomas the Tank Engine tune.
But it's like Jingle Bells or something.
Yeah.
Christmas time.
Okay.
I think that's the best description
that
of it
is
I
on
ever
point.
read.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I was just trying to find a picture to show Lucy, and that came up as the first thing on the Reddit. And then I'm just like, oh. I already clicked on Wikipedia, and I'm just like, oh, well.
Okay.
The Wikipedia painting's good.
I do like that.
The Asgardia wild hunt.
So.
See the things in the background?
Yeah.
With the ice giants? That's your wild hunt party.
Yeah, so all these ladies in the front, those are the Valkyries.
Yeah, the
Valkyries. And they would go across battlefields and Norse mythology.
Yes.
Odin would seek out the souls of. Do you know what that noise was? Would seek out the souls of dead warriors from the battlefield to bring up to his hall in Valhalla.
Yes.
And they would drink and eat and fight
and feast
and fight
and fuck
drink and fuck, and then they'd fight and they'd die and then they'd come back to life again the next day.
And they fight and fuck again.
Yeah.
So
I know about all that.
Yeah, so the Valkyries would accompany him and pick up like all the best dudes. And then that kind of idea turns into this what was it? The rave of
the rave of disembodied souls.
That whole thing with like the unbaptized souls of people, or like witches.
When witches die,
when witches die, they can't get to heaven or hell.
Yeah, they're stuck in purgatory.
Purgatory.
Yes, and you have this guy called like Hern the Hunter.
Yeah.
Which is this buff dude on a horse with antlers.
Cute.
Deer antlers.
So if you remember the old Jaeger ads.
He has the deer antlers.
Oh, I get it.
You remember the old Jaeger ads?
Yeah, man.
Basically, that is the wild hunt. Literally, they had animal heads, human bodies, and they would just party and get drunk and do shit and cause havoc on Christmas Eve.
I get it.
Because Christmas, like Halloween, is a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest. So things from the...
Hence why Satan Jesus is, well, probable.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. So things come through.
But,
and hence, there is an old tradition of ghost stories being told at Christmas time. So Christmas Carol, you think, oh, that's weird. Ghost story at Christmas. But that's actually like one of a bajillion.
Can we talk about the Belschnickel?
Alright, Belschnickel, okay. Yeah.
Belschnickel.
Belschnickel.
So, Belschnickel has to be one of my favorite frickin' things in the whole world. Essentially, all he does is travel around and scare children. That is all he does.
Just hearing the name, I'm like, is this like a cousin of like Rumpelstiltskin?
No, he is a companion of Saint Nick as well.
Wow, Saint Nick just has this like little band of freaks living in his basement, and Mrs. Claus is like, "What's that sound?" It's like nothing.
But he doesn't follow Saint Nicholas around. He goes, "Okay, fuck ya, goodbye." Does his own thing.
Huh.
So, Belschnickel, as the name sounds, is German, Austrian, Slavic region again. So, Belschnickel sometimes dresses as a woman as well. So,
Alright.
So essentially, Belschnickel is sometimes a drag queen, sometimes a man. That's how I first came across him when I read about him years ago, and I was like, I love this. I want to be Belschnickel. And I was contemplating giving myself the last name Belschnickel when I first started doing drag, but I figured no one would be able to pronounce it.
Oh, wow.
Who would go around and just scare children.
I mean, that's essentially what we do every time we go out in drag.
Essentially.
Like, even not in drag. We
Yeah.
were just at the shops the other day, and this kid went to walk down the aisle and goes, nope, they look scary, and walked off.
But he dresses like a hobo when he's a man.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my
And-
favourite bit.
And if the children are naughty, he would beat the shit out of them. Also, he would lure them in with handfuls of cake.
There's a difference between scaring someone and beating the shit out of them.
But he would lure them in with cake and candy and nuts.
I would...
Things that are for good
I
children.
totally...
And say, you're a good child. And then with the other hand, he'd have either a branch, a blade, or something to beat the other naughty children with, to show them, look, if you're good, you get the cake. Pavlovian conditioning.
I literally would be the kid who would get beaten the shit out of, lured in by cake.
I mean...
Cake's ready.
Turn the page.
But Belschnickel's become popular now in New York. There's a man who walks around New York
Oh.
dressed as Belschnickel,
What, is he just
giving
a
children
hobo?
cake.
Interesting.
He gives children candy. Remember, people, stranger danger, stranger danger.
Or is he just a hobo who somehow attains cake?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, he's doing the thing, and he's just actually not very well.
But like his name says, he's covered in bells
Yeah,
as well.
so you hear him coming.
I know, it's the jingly hobo guy with the cake.
Cake is gonna beat me.
Jingly hobo with cake.
I
Oh,
mean,
Hannah.
he was the
Yeah.
original
Hannah's
sex
Hannah.
register, so you could hear him coming.
Yeah, he had to declare.
So,
Just so you
so
know.
I literally, so this misfit band of Saint Nick's people and creatures, I want to see Saint Nick and like all these little followers verse flashback to a Little Pebble episode, like Zombie Pope and everything. I want to see them fight. That's the crossover
Yes.
episode.
But there's also tales of him like dressing as a woman.
I didn't know about this.
Yes, to lure the naughty children in because they wouldn't be afraid of a woman.
Oh.
That's how they get ya.
That sounds like he's speaking from a deep place.
It's like-
I listen to a lot of true crime stuff, and there's always
Christina Bluefin.
yes. I was thinking,
Bob Berdella was Belschnickel.
yeah,
I could picture him doing that.
All I can envision is Emily Howard from Little Britain. And be
I'm
like,
a lady.
I'm a lady! And then starts beating the shit
But
out of children.
When he was dressed as a woman, he would wear a dress made out of animal skins.
Whoa, so it's Connie Bathory.
Exactly.
yep, this now I see.
See why I
See why
picked
you're
that,
obsessed
because I
with
was
that
just like, I would wear animal skins and beat children with a stick.
Yes, and you are a hobo.
Yeah.
Most likely, I have slept in my car more than one time.
And other uncomfortable places.
Also, no disrespect to homeless people.
No, we
If you can hear this, we love you.
Love you.
empty words from empty souls.
No, homelessness is the real problem, and
It is.
people who are not me need to do something about it.
I'm poor.
Look at you taking initiative. Be like,
No,
everyone do the world's
It's a
work.
systemic problem. The government needs to do something about it.
Okay,
Not
this is true.
me
This
on
is
my own.
true.
I'm not going to make
There's-
a difference.
There's another Christmas one, and I can't remember what it is, and it's annoying me now, where there was like a little goblin who would disguise himself as someone's children just to eat their food at Christmas.
Me. I'm the...
I can't remember what it's called, and it's annoying me. There was like this little goblin who would hide the child away somewhere,
Okay.
and then take on their form, like shapeshift, and then go eat their Christmas dinner, and then bring the child back.
So,
Why like just on Christmas? Like,
Just on Christmas.
why wouldn't you just like, oh, this is my life now. I'm gonna be.
I mean, that'd be Lucy.
I mean, yeah.
You would disguise yourself as someone to steal their food.
Oh, yeah, I've done it. I got invited into a random person's house once, and they're like, oh, because it was a family gathering, and they're like, oh, you must be blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, ate dinner and then left, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, I wonder if they ever think of me.
So do you want to talk about?
Can we talk, because we've spoken about Perchka or Petra or the many different names, there's Grilla.
Grilla.
who would also feast upon the mischievous children. She's Icelandic.
Icelandic, which just Icelandic stuff. Metal AF.
Yeah.
So many people just eat naughty
I
children.
know, there's this whole thing about... I read a interesting essay about it, and I think it's like a way for children to develop a sense of self.
Yeah.
As in, like...
Don't get eaten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like, as a sense of, what's it called? Autonomy.
Yeah.
Like, I am an individual, I have my own thoughts and feelings, and the threat of being eaten, you're then consumed back into someone else.
I would give anything to be eaten.
Yeah. But essentially, she'd walk around with her husband.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
so
should
she
we
had a
explain
husband.
what
Yeah.
she is?
We should
Oh,
explain
God.
what she is. But disclaimer, if we mispronounce any of these Icelandic names, we
yeah.
apologize. I don't speak Icelandic or any Scandinavian language, so I pronounce it how it's written phonetically.
Yes.
So,
I'm pretty sure
Grilla seems about right. So she's this old giant hunchback crone woman.
Again, Connie Bathory.
Yeah, and she'd walk around the streets and beg women, "Give me your naughty child, so I must feast."
And they were like, okay.
Yeah.
Here, take little Timmy. He broke my favourite vase.
Yeah.
Thank fuck. Take him away.
Pack him away.
But she only was around at Christmas time. But she stays in her cave going, "Oh, this child's been naughty," writes it on a list. "Oh, this one too." And then goes up to the mothers, "Your child has been naughty.
All
I
these
must feed
people
her."
is it like the 7 stones of Middle Earth? Do they all just have like this crystal ball and they're like, that's the naughty child? Saint Nick has one, Krampus has one, this bitch has one.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And hence why this woman is still around, because there's always naughty children. And they still have like people in costumes walking up and down the streets, going up to random mothers going, "Can I have
You
your
say
child?"
people in costumes, but it makes me just feel like it's people wanting to abduct children.
I
maybe that's how it started.
But she walks the street with her now third husband. Let's remember she is a gold digger, but all she got out of it was a cave. And an ability to foresee evil children.
Really needed.
Yeah.
A bit more choosy.
Yeah. You can try pronouncing his last name. I can never say it. Lepalodi, I reckon.
Lepalodi?
Lodi, yeah.
Lodi? It looks like that Scandinavian thing with the Lodi.
Yeah. Basically, he walks with her, and he's carrying a leash that controls their big cat.
Yes,
The Yule cat.
The Yule cat.
Oh, kitty.
Or the Jólakötturinn.
You'll love this kitty.
What?
The Jólakötturinn.
Okay.
Which is what you know, Yule?
Yeah, like the burning the Yule log and blah blah.
Yeah, so that festival is the Scandinavian
Okay.
wintertime festival, and a lot of things will have Yule in front of it if it's a figure from that.
You'll regret it.
And I have to say, the Yule cat is one of my favorite creatures.
I love the Yule cat. I flippin' love the Yule cat. Okay, so Grilla,
Yes.
which, oh, by the way, you mentioned Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
That's the witch from Sabrina.
Oh, so she's
Grilla.
in it too.
Yeah, that's what they're referencing there.
And
Yeah.
they're like, don't let her in the house because she. Yeah.
Well, they didn't mention in Sabrina that Grilla is often a giantess.
Yeah, she's
Or
giant.
a
Crone.
troll or an ogress. So,
They did mention a different form though.
okay. So, if she's a giantess, imagine how big her cat is.
She has a big pussy.
Big
Big
puss.
pussy energy.
Love that big puss energy.
So, Grilla's cat the Yule cat, will come and eat children who have not received new clothes for Christmas.
I guess, okay, so like, that's a common thing with a lot of kids, they just want toys. Like, I remember, like, friends at school, like, because I never really did the Christmas thing.
Mhm.
Friends at school would be like, "Oh, I only got clothes for Christmas," I'm like, "But you got a present, so you know."
Yeah. Well, you didn't get eaten by the Yule Cat, so.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Because you would get new winter clothes for the winter solstice.
Yes, we mentioned spinning before,
Mm-hmm.
and I said how they do that all throughout the year.
Now, have you ever wondered why on a lot of those ugly Christmas sweaters and that, why there's always a cat?
No.
No.
Have you
Well,
look
like-
at ugly Christmas sweaters? There's a lot of cat motifs.
I thought that was just
Well,
like
those
a
are
crazy
people
cat.
like
But
that.
think about those ugly sweaters. They look like the Icelandic winter sweaters in that
Yeah.
horizontal line, the geometric shapes.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of design. That's why they have a cat on them.
See, I always thought it was just like a crazy cat lady thing. Itchy
But-
sweaters.
But yeah, so the thing was like, kids were meant to help out with that spinning chores and do that throughout the year. So then you get to Christmas time and you haven't got any thread to make clothes out of.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you haven't done your work. So the Yule Cat's like, you were lazy.
Oh.
I'm gonna eat you.
Yes. And if you did not receive a piece of new clothing, they would just put you outside to be eaten by the cat.
Wow. I feel like parents are a lot less loving. Like they're just like, oh, you fucked up once, you're gone.
Times were hard,
Yeah.
man. If you weren't
Goodbye,
pulling your weight,
Timmy.
bye off.
Yeah. But
Poor little
it-
Timmy.
it's really interesting because, again, she's a giantess.
Mm,
So this is her cat.
yes.
So witches have familiars.
Yeah.
This is her familiar. This is a saber cat at least.
I'm so
Yes.
interested the fact that 2 of these demons have shown up in Sabrina already.
Yeah, they do actually a lot of good references to
Yeah.
mythology.
Yeah, and folklore stuff in Sabrina, which is why I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I'm yet to watch the new season.
Which comes out just after Christmas.
Yes.
Wait, it's not out yet?
No, it comes out December 31st.
I just saw like a little 13-second trailer thingy, and the original aunts from the original series
Yes.
come into
I
it.
know.
So
And what's her name? Has a cameo too. Melissa Joan Hart.
Does she?
Yes. I was reading it and I was just like,
is that
she has
the
a
original Sabrina?
yeah, she has
Shit,
a.
love that.
So it makes me wonder because they always spoke about on the first making of the show how there were the evil twins and that. Remember and how they had to sacrifice her in the volcano to get her full witch's license.
Vaguely. This is going back.
Is
a
this
long
the
way.
evil twin?
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Because every spellman has an evil twin.
Ah, I do remember this. Okay.
This shows how much I watch Sabrina. And it makes me think, is this how they're linking it all?
Shit.
Because she was called Sabrina too.
Shit.
So if every spellman has an evil twin, there would be an evil Helda and an evil Zelda. Hell,
I love Hilda. Hilda? I love
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Christmas is more punk
I've blown your
rock
mind.
Yeah.
than I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Christmas is punk rock as fuck. Maybe I
Look,
need to change my perspective.
Speaking of punk rock,
Yeah.
the Yule lad.
The Yule lad.
Okay, I don't approve of lads at all, but you have piqued my interest at a potential. How many of them are there? Because you're saying lads, so it
There's
sounds like
sometimes
plural.
2, sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 13.
Okay,
They
well,
split up
regardless,
and then come together and
it
then split up
sounds
and
like
come together.
you're about to start talking about my 13 future ex-husbands, and I'm here for that.
Are they trolls?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Have you seen my exes? Some of them
I've
are
seen one of
trolls.
them.
Which,
I've seen a picture of one of the others. He didn't look like a troll.
Mm.
which, by the way, just me personally, I like to mention that trolls may not necessarily be what you're imagining.
Yeah.
With
Crawling out from under bridges and eating goats.
Yeah, because
Well, they're eating goats, definitely.
well, yeah. But sometimes in Scandinavian folklore, trolls are just kind of like the fae folk or the hidden people.
Oh.
So they're not necessarily like the big, rocky, big nose kind of things from Harry Potter you picture, but they could be like elves or
Yeah.
things from.
Cute. Love that.
But the
Yeah.
Yule lads,
Trolls.
yeah. There are 13 of them. I found a list of all their names.
Alright.
I'm going to read out the English
Pronunciations.
Oh, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to give you the English translations.
I want to try to do the Icelandic name.
Okay, you try the Icelandic name.
Okay. Stetjarso?
Sheep coat clod.
Oh. Is that one name?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. No,
He-
I don't want that one.
He harasses the sheep, but he
Okay.
has a peg leg.
I will pick one of these to be my future husband. I
Okay.
don't want that one.
Gijagur?
Who is the gilly gawk?
Yeah.
He would hide in like the gilly grass. That's what the cows eat,
No.
and then steal their milk.
Oh, no. He would bring the milk home, but I don't want someone who hides in grass.
Stufa?
Or Stubby.
Definitely not.
He's the short one.
No.
And he would eat the crumbs out of pans.
No, yuck. I like tall men.
Okay.
Next.
Then, I don't even know what that letter is.
It looks like an L and a P combined.
What?
Dvorslecker.
The spoon licker.
Oh.
He would lick wooden spoons, and he's very malnourished. That sounds close to your type.
Okay.
That's
He's
all
on the
he
maybe
is.
list.
That's all he is the stuff off spoon.
Okay. I mean, at least he'd be good at licking, so that's a maybe. Next.
Potaskeffel.
The pot scraper.
No.
He scrapes the pots for
Sounds
crumbs.
irritating.
I thought that said arse licker for a
I
second.
mean,
Well, maybe.
Ashka licker.
Askelicker.
He's the bowl licker. He hides under beds, waiting for someone to put down their pan.
Do they just lick random
Now-
things?
Pretty much they just lick shit.
Now, let's think about this. What pot do you keep under your bed?
Oh.
I
Okay,
mean,
not that one. So
Who eats from a bowl in bed?
No,
not many
no.
people.
So ass licker it was. Next. Definitely not.
It's that guy you met on Tinder.
The one who said it doesn't matter how dirty it is, it'll be clean afterwards. She guessed who that was.
Next.
I did. Herdeskeller?
The door slammer. He would slam the doors in the middle of the night to scare people.
Okay, well, he can fuck off out of my house. No. Just like 3 a.m. Just.
This one I know.
You know how
I know how to pronounce this
Oh,
one.
you tell me how to do it.
Skrigamo.
Skrigamo.
He's the Scree gobbler. So Scree is that Icelandic bio yogurt.
Yeah.
Easy way. It's actually really nice.
So a yogurt guzzler.
Yeah.
Okay, here's on the maybe list too.
See how queer they are?
I mean, like, let's be real, like, consistent.
Wait till you hear the next one. The next one will get you going.
Bejungus Cracker.
The sausage swiper. He would then go... So
Don't
he
swipe
would
them.
hide in the rafters of your house,
No.
scurry down, steal the sausages and that you're smoking, and then run away with them.
Okay, so first, he sounds like half the people who are pursuing me hiding in the rafters. No. I don't want him stealing any kind of my sausages, and he can... No. Not
The
that
next one is very creepy.
Yes. Glugagager.
The window peeper.
Oh.
You can guess what he does.
Again, I already have these guys following
The
me
next
around.
one, I'm just going to say, sounds exactly like your type.
Oh, it's that letter again.
The
Gattefer?
Yeah? The doorway sniffer.
What?
He has a very large nose,
Okay, I do. Look, I do like a big schnoz.
and he uses it to smell out bread.
I mean, if he finds
Why is
food
it
for
bread in
me.
the doorway?
No, he would just sniff through the doorways for the bread.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But what does he do with the bread? Like,
So-
does he take it, or does he just sniff it?
So we'll get into what they all do together.
Okay.
Because they all come on different nights.
Oh, this is my boy here.
Yeah.
Ket Croker.
The meat hooker.
Okay.
He uses a hook to steal your meat.
Okay, well, No! I like my meat where it is. It's
And-
not hooking nothing.
This one is like taking candy from a baby.
Kurta Schnicker.
The candle stealer. He would steal children's candles.
I want that one.
Yeah, but to eat them.
Yeah.
Aww.
Because they're edible candles, not made from animal fat. and
Yeah, back in the day, mate.
So we have 4 suitors. Insert wedding music here and
Da 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 da. Lucy, the Tiger King of the Yule Lad.
So essentially, I'm gonna meet with these 4 lads and offer them a rose.
Well, you have to wait till the right day in December.
They come on different
Oh,
days.
so I can have them.
And they leave,
all
but they
yeah.
stay for a few days.
Oh.
And then they all leave on different days.
Yeah,
So they're like those bad house guests that come, and you don't know when they're gonna go. You're just like,
And then they're like, oh, my mate's gonna come over. And then he never leaves either.
Oh no!
And then they're all
13
there,
of them.
and then they're all there at one point on the one day.
Yeah.
It's
Which
so funny,
is
they're all-
Merry Christmas on Christmas Day.
They're crawling through the
So-
rafters, sniffing and stealing shit.
Now-
One slamming doors just closed.
Doesn't that sound like a typical Christmas?
Oh my god!
All these people
Yeah.
mixed together. There's someone always stealing food, someone always looking for the leftovers.
Someone's always eating the fucking candles.
Someone's swinging from the rafters
And there's
slamming doors.
And then there's someone somewhere licking out the bowls. But they're generally 13, but there are tales of there being more than 13. But
Or fewer.
what I love about them, because they're just mischievous little people, some of them are tall, some of them are little, some of them are normal, some of them are skinny, some of them are dark, some of them are light, some of them wear clothes, some of them don't.
I bet sheep coat.
The-
Sheep coat Claude, I bet he's naked.
No, I bet the one swinging off the rafter is naked. The
Oh,
sausage
yep,
snatcher.
yep.
And the one-
He's just wearing all the sausages.
It's just like, make sure you grab the right sausage.
And the
Simpsons-
Ashka liquor,
Oh.
the bowl liquor,
Oh yeah, he's naked and like
He's
covered
naked.
in like
We
bo-
juice.
bowl juice.
Oh. Oh.
But they would all come, and the thing is, they would also leave little gifts for children
What the
in
fuck
wooden
do
bowls.
these kinds of people leave in bowls. Of
Wooden bowls.
What do they leave?
Just small little gifts. And naughty children would get a potato.
Oh, the potato's probably the best thing naughty kids have got this whole episode.
Meanwhile, over in Ireland, like, we want potatoes.
Yeah.
We like potatoes too.
But they're just like mischievous as all hell. I love the Yule Lads
Yeah.
because they've just got the most random lore that I have read
Yeah.
in general.
So
They're up there with
specific.
Belschnickel.
Yeah. The weirdly niche specific ones are my favourite. Where?
Yeah,
What?
the sausage
Why?
stealer.
Why? But did we mention they're like sometimes thought to be Greela's sons?
Yes.
So you mentioned Greela had her invisible children in Sabrina.
Yeah.
This is all these guys.
Ah. See, I think I'd rather see them because if like they're invisible and doing the things that they're
But-
doing,
You know the candle one? You know how he steals the candles? Up the nose. He'll put them up his nose.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. What?
Is this back to that whole big nose thing?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the choice.
This is why they're called lads, because lads still in today's society don't make fucking sense. You know who you are.
You could imagine them all on Christmas Day because they're all there on Christmas Day. Some will leave after Christmas Day. Some will leave on Christmas Day. Imagine the havoc in your house.
Oh my god.
And they were. Oh.
You have the one swinging from the rafters looking for your sausage.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I
no,
think
man.
I think that's a sexual predator that I've seen in public restrooms at times.
Swinging from the rafters, it happens.
There's some scary toilets in Sydney.
Okay.
And I'm not joking, I've seen people hiding on the roof with cameras. Yep.
It happens.
It's not nice.
I'm not surprised, but I'm not happy about it either.
At least they're in the men's toilets. Safer for you.
Yeah, in the women's toilets, there's always a little sign that says, "Oh, order this drink if someone's harassing you." And
Oh, I've
That's good.
yeah, they'll have their own like special code name. Order one of these, and then we'll call the police or sort out a taxi.
See,
for you.
Oh.
See, that's classy. In
Yeah.
like men's toilets that I've been in, like one specific one, there was like a printed off thing on the back of the toilet door, and it's like, "Stop. We know who you are. Stop wiping your feces on the walls." And I'm just like, what? They're like, "We have CCTV footage. Stop."
You know who you are.
But in men's toilets, there's also a condom machine like rub-on deodorant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Like
the
a
same.
hygiene
We have
station.
the same, but it's like
And-
perfume and tampons.
But there's also like they say things like this is a scent to drive her mad, and things like that.
Why would you want that?
But also, just on the topic of all that stuff, make tampons free. Full stop. Done.
Yeah.
Not just tampons, all
All sanitary
menstruation products.
Yeah, all. Yeah,
I'm
do it.
because I'm happy.
Yeah.
It needs to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Why is such a basic need so expensive?
Well, why is such a basic thing cost anything?
Well, I can tell you from my experiences, even in hospital, they will ask people to bring in their own menstruation products. They won't provide them for free. But a lot of places use their ward petty cash to have a supply.
Yeah, I can also understand that because like everyone's got their own thing they're comfortable with using.
Yeah, but if you get caught short,
Yeah, you need some.
like I've had patients in the past who've been caught short, and I've said, well, what kind do you need? I can go get you stuff. We've got a small supply of stuff that we have. And usually they get taken aback that a male nurse is asking them about their period, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's a period.
They're not
Anyway.
secrets anymore.
All I want to say is that they should be free.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Condoms should be free too,
yes,
because then
very
they're
important.
Okay, we'll have a full list of things that should be free.
everything.
And if you think something else should be free, comment.
Yes.
But there's so many like Christmas goblins and that as well.
Yes. Should I mention the Nissa?
Yes.
So you've seen Hilda.
Yes.
You know the Nissa in that?
Yes.
They're kind of like the physical manifestation of the spirit of the house.
Yes.
In Hilda, they're quite lovely, and they do all your housework for you. They do.
Sometimes.
And it's misses.
Yeah, they're also called Tomton or Tontu.
Yeah, Thompson is what I know as.
So you'll see around in shops now, they've become a lot more popular. There'll be like this little kind of little gnome decoration.
Yeah.
With just like a nose poking out of it and a beard.
Yeah.
That's a Nissa. Tomton. You put him just in a corner somewhere in your house. And if you don't take care of your house or you're rude to him, he'll mess your shit up.
Just trash your house.
They'll braid the hair of your horses and tie your cows' tails together and make the milk curdle.
Basically, think of a poltergeist.
Why would you put this shit in your house? Throw that little fucker in the
Because
street.
if you're
you're
good
nice
to
him,
them,
he'll take care of everything.
yeah.
True.
So he's like a house elf who's gone on an angry
I
rampage.
Yes.
forget to feed myself most of the time.
But
That's
see-
like, be nice
But
to
see, if you're
somebody.
nice to him, he'll feed you.
But
This could be your husband material.
I know,
Yes.
future ex-husband right here.
But the thing is, though, too, if he bites you, he's venomous.
Oh
Yeah.
God, what?
I love that.
Me too.
What the hell?
It's like, oh yeah, that kind of like I can see where that idea comes from, and it's like,
Where's
oh,
the-
also he's venom.
Yeah.
What the
Also,
fuck?
he's a horny little fucker too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Christmas
And
is scary.
He was one of the reasons for wet dreams as well.
oh
That's gross.
Because nighttime,
yeah.
when he was unsupervised,
He just go wank people up in their sleep.
yes,
What a
he was a
freaking-
horny little thing. Perfect for
Okay.
Lucy. He would be your little sex house slave.
Ooh.
I don't want that at all.
Well, he doesn't live in the house. He shows up.
The look on your face.
He lives in burial mounds.
No.
So he's like,
It gets worse.
so he's basically the soul of your dead ex-husband. You could say.
Yes.
What the fuck?
So he comes in, he's horny, so he'll do good things for you in the hopes that he can pleasure you.
Or get
Oh
milk
my
out of
God,
you.
Yes.
I'm so scared.
Get milk out of you.
And bread.
All the
And
variations.
tie my tail to something else. Like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that those are in shops now, like
Yeah.
$2 shops, and you people went, oh, it's a little Christmas gnome Santa
Yeah.
thing. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes,
I was
sure.
I was telling the woman at our local store about it, and she went, "Are you sure?" She goes, "They're just called Tomatin dolls. I thought it was just the brand name." I went, no.
No. So, children, now you know.
And speaking of children, everyone's favorite new pastime, the elf on a shelf, actually has a tradition. It's a nice tradition. It isn't
I
bad.
don't trust it. It looks freaky. It's smiling all
But-
the time.
You used to have an elf ornament that you used to hang in your trees that was house made. And that would be your little one. It's Atlantic origins as well, because he's an elf.
Oh, yes, of
He's
course.
Fey folk. And he would...
Elves are Nordic, by the way. Stop throwing shit at me, Lucy!
I did it one time. Jesus.
Family Feud. Drag to Hell edition.
Why is he throwing a mitten at me?
Because
Of all the things. Very Christmassy thing to throw.
it's very...
See? Look. Now you're going to get eaten, stolen, dragged to hell. You're being naughty.
Get my sausage stolen.
Get the Oscar liquor.
Oh, get them freaking venomized by a little elf dude.
Yeah.
Well, the naughty little elf will watch everything you do, because you used to have a family one that they used to just put on shelves years ago, like orange trees. Like it was a hand-sewn Icelandic ornament.
Ah.
And he would report everything to St. Nicholas.
And then he would send his Krampus.
Then he would do everything. He was the original spy. And now look how popular it is. It's everywhere.
I was like, oh, fucking
Christmas
elf on
is
the
like...
shelf.
That's scary.
Christmas is
Yeah.
scarier than people
Yeah,
anticipate.
Halloween is like the safe season now, y'all. Halloween ain't got shit.
But we've spoken about St. Nick, but we haven't actually said who St. Nick
Oh,
is.
you know that. Oh, well,
St. Nicholas
Okay.
isn't St. Nicholas.
yes. What's he patron saint of? I know he's patron saint of children, but he's also sailors or something?
Yeah, patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, thieves who have repented their ways,
Okay.
and children and
You know, like,
prostitutes.
oh, yeah.
I forgot
Those-
about the prostitutes.
The sinners.
Those all go together.
I mean,
Sailors, prostitutes,
Let's think about it.
children.
Bam.
Bam.
the Last Supper,
Boom.
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene, prostitute,
Ah.
repented thief, Matthew, I think.
Oh,
shit.
Oh,
Boom.
boom.
Dog
See?
flu.
Dog sick.
Where's the Ashka liquor? We have some dog sick here.
We don't need to explain.
I swear that.
Y'all just sit there in confusion. And you know what you did. Dog
Dog
sick.
sick.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's all we really need to say about Saint Nick.
Yeah. Okay.
He gave presents to the good. He would give presents to the good prostitutes back in the day,
Mm.
There you go.
because all sex workers are good, so they should all get presents.
They should. They definitely should.
Give presents to your local sex worker. Go give them a candy cane at least, and not that candy cane.
Yes, there's no euphemism for your diseased penis.
Ew.
If it's red and white and stripy, you need to see a
Especially
doctor.
if it bends that way. You guys know who you are.
A
Straighten that shit
doctrine's contracture.
What's the Yule lad with the meat hook?
The sausage
I have
stealer.
a video for you after this.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'll do it
Anyway.
again.
Anyway,
Pavlova, what was it you were saying?
Pavlova. Saint Nick.
No.
I've said all we need to say about Saint Nick. I think that's.
Nobody said about the resurrection of the children. That's why he's the saint of children.
Because
he can bring children back to life.
yeah, he can bring.
I'll believe it when I see it.
So basically, you could say he was also in cahoots with Gorilla. I have read that.
Interesting.
The one with the dead spirit children.
Yeah,
Cool.
because purgatory babies need to be reborn.
Purgatory.
There is a story about 3 young boys, rich boys, very important.
Okay.
And they were on their way to a religious boarding school.
Oh.
And on the way, they met this dude, who was either a butcher or an innkeeper. Stories vary. But he and his wife were like, yeah, sure, come on in. You can stay here. And then they murdered them.
Oh shit.
dismembered them and put them in like, barrels in one story and sacks of all the other meat in the butcher shop in others, and they were so hungry and they were just about to eat the boy flesh.
Boy flesh, yeah.
And then Saint
The
Nick,
flesh of mankind, if anyone gets that
Yeah.
reference, bonus points.
and then Saint Nick showed up and was like, "No,
Do not do that.
do not do that." And
You can't do that.
and then brought the boys back to life.
Like Frankenstein?
Yeah. Exactly like
Mm.
Frankenstein.
And look, I think we should also talk about La Bafina.
I thought it was La Befana, but
There's
sure.
I've seen Bafina and Bafana.
Okay.
So she was a woman who was there with the old wise men who were meant to follow the star to baby Jesus.
Yeah,
Yep.
they went via Italy.
Oh, okay.
And she basically said, no, sorry, I've got too much work to do. And
Yeah.
said, fuck you guys, you go on your weird mystery tour, I'm going to stay here and do some work.
Fuck you guys. I'm going
And then
home.
after like 2 or 3 days, she went,
Wait,
maybe I should have gone with them. That star is still there. Oh, shit.
I've got all these.
Fuck this shit.
I've got all these children's toys from my. Isn't it like in the story her grandchildren are all
Yeah.
dead?
Yeah, they're like half-dead baby creature things.
What?
So anyway, she goes to follow them and she can't catch up with them. So she threw herself under a magical tree or bush. I've seen bush as well.
Oh, okay.
And she turns into a broom that can fly.
What?
This is not the story I've heard, but
Oh, there's lots of different versions of it.
yes.
I like that one the best because I think that's the funniest.
The origin of the witch's broomstick. But what have you heard?
Well, I heard the three wise men stopped via Italy at La Befana's house on their way to see Jesus, and they told her what they were doing. And like, you should come with us, come meet the baby. And she's like,
I don't like babies.
nah.
I've got enough half-dead children in here. You think I need to see another one?
You think I have time to go see the baby? I have so much to do. That was a terrible Italian accent. But and then she had all these because I think all her grandchildren and children had since died from things. You know, children die in history.
A lot.
They don't live very long. So she had all these children's toys and things, and she's like, "I'll take these to baby Jesus." And she gets on her broomstick because she's a witch. Goes off to try and catch up to the three wise men, but she can't. It's too long ago. They're gone. She can't find them,
yeah.
and she's like, "Well, I'll give these presents to some other kids." And
See, in my one, it's basically that, except
Yeah.
she's the broomstick,
she is the broomstick.
and she drops presents on children. Like, good presents for good children.
Huh.
So there's some nice Christmas fables.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but hey, I think we should talk about one of your favourite traditions, though.
Oh, the Marie-Lude.
Lucy knows this one.
Lucy knows this one. Do you want to explain this one, Lucy?
Oh.
Explain what you saw.
So, Madam Coco Macaroni did a performance last night at Lotta's Christmas Spectacular as the
Marie-Lude.
yes, which is the use of a horse's skull, and they go around to people's doors,
Yep.
and knock, and essentially have a rap battle at the
Yep.
door, convincing people to let them into their house
Yep.
to tell the kids to behave.
Yeah, and get like food and a
Food.
drink, and just generally bring good vibes for the new
Okay.
year.
Don't let the fact that it's a horse's skull fool you. It's bringing good vibes.
Yeah, it's good. It's good fortune.
Quotation.
So where does it originate from?
This is a South Welsh tradition. It's a midwinter thing. I think also because this is kind of when, for most Celtic, Northern European cultures, this is when the year turns over to the next one. So it's kind of like, hey, Happy New Year. Yeah, and the Marie-Lude, no one really knows where it came from originally.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been lost to the sands of time, exactly where that comes from. But it means grey mare.
The old grey mare, she ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
Well, and I can safely say that the Mary Lude has the same voice as Daryl Brain. I heard it first.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like Daryl Brain.
Got up and sung horses.
It was amazing.
It was great. It was fantastic. Again, one of my favourite drag performances I've watched.
I'm gonna make that a Christmas tradition. We do that every year.
Do it.
I like the father whipper.
Ah, yes, Père Fortard. The story I told before about the butcher and the chopping up the boys.
Yeah.
And Saint Nick was like, "How dare you chop up the upper classes?"
Oh, whoa.
In some, it used to be Germany, is now France. These areas. In those stories, he's called Père Fortard, which means father whipper.
Oh.
So Fortard.
Ooh.
And Nick was like, "Okay, you tried to kill these children. That was a bit shit. As your punishment, you're gonna follow me around and whip children who've been naughty."
He has the biggest band of misfits.
He has more. There's Necht Rupert. Or Necht Rupert.
Yeah.
So basically, this is another little servant who would walk around in a long black cloak and go up to children and say, "Have you prayed this year?"
Oh god.
If they say yes, they get treats, cookies, and cakes.
I've definitely not prayed this year.
Throws ash in your face.
Yeah.
And then hits them with the sack of ashes.
Yeah, he has a little sack full of ashes.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the run of bad luck you'd have from the 5th of December onwards with all these people showing up in your life?
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Hans Trapp.
Hans Trapp.
Hans Trapp.
Hans Trotha. Hans Von Trapp.
No, not the Trough Queen, Lucy. I saw your face at that. Basically, he's the boogeyman of Christmas.
Yeah.
He's the oogie boogie woogie man of Christmas time.
So tell me about that.
Okay.
So basically, it's almost the butcher over again.
Yeah.
Basically, this one family, he takes the kid, chops him up, and roasts him.
Yeah.
So
A lot of cannibalism going on. Well,
he's and because he did that, he got struck by lightning.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's just about to put the morsel in his mouth, and God was like, "Nah."
You can't do that.
Like, I've let this go this far.
He can't do that.
No.
Zap him off.
Yeah.
Zap him.
But he's probably based on an actual historical figure.
Yes.
Oh.
So there was a...
We like talking murder here.
Yes, we do. The late 1400s, there was a nobleman knight figure called Hans von Trotha.
Okay.
Same kind of deal, was Germany, now France. And there was this dispute between him and this abbey nearby, because he got given this land, but no one could agree on who actually owned this land.
Okay.
And the abbey was like, "This is our fucking land. You need to give it back." And he was like, Hans was like, "No. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to dam up the river so you have no water."
Oh.
Yeah. And so that went on for a bit, and the abbey was like, "Dude, come on. We need water. Give us back our water." And he was like, "Okay. You can have your water."
No, he didn't. He did.
He broke down the dam, flooded the nearby towns and villages. And so
That's some me shit. I would totally.
yeah, actually, here's your husband. So then the Pope was like, "Bro, you can't be doing that shit.
He can't be my husband.
You gotta come here, and we need to talk about this." And he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not going to fall for your tricks."
No way." So the Pope was like, "Okay, well, then you're out of the church. You're excommunicated."
Oh.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
So then, because of that, then people started, when you're not in the church, you're not in the fold, then everyone starts saying like, "Oh, you must worship Satan and do black magic and eat children."
Yeah.
You eat a child once in a performance and no one
Let's you
lets it
forget
go.
about it.
No, that was
And
one time.
I think the most controversial Christmas demon figure has to be Black Peter.
Svartapete.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he has to be the most controversial.
So you mentioned what was his name? The one with the ashes. Is that Rupert?
Necht Rupert.
Yes.
Rupert the Servant.
Yeah, so he's also often got blackface, but I feel like he's a good indicator.
I think his black. I don't think his blackface is blackface. I think it's more ash because he throws ash in children's face, so of course he's gonna get ash all over.
I feel like it's important to have these two comparisons
Yeah.
to show like why one is bad and one is okay.
Understandable. The other one is
just straight up racism.
Yeah.
What?
So Black Peter is straight up racism.
Yeah. So next Ruprecht is covered in ashes. There's also like a thing with doing plays and stuff where you black out your face behind a mask like Batman.
Yep.
Or in like Kabuki theatre, everyone wears black when they're moving stuff around.
Yeah.
Stagehands always wear black.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. That's why you have black.
Okay,
It makes you look weird and otherworldly.
Yeah.
And it goes with the kind of mood you're
It's
trying
not
to
to portray a person of color.
Yes.
Okay.
Black Peter is a
Black
person
Peter.
of color, portrayed by a white person.
Yes.
Oh no.
He's a straight up, he's a blackamoor.
Yeah.
Which is an old timey term for black person.
Yeah.
Because Spain, there used to be a section of Spain that was conquered by the Muslim Empire,
Yeah.
the Moors, and they were quite often very dark skin.
With dark, tight, curly hair.
Yes. Which is where Svartapete comes from in the stories.
It's mainly Netherlands I've seen it
the
referred
Netherlands,
to.
yeah.
I've not seen it really be spoken about spread to other areas,
No.
except for along the borders.
Yeah.
So basically, he was another person who followed around Satanic,
Yeah.
supposedly.
He didn't have enough people following him around.
See, I always just thought it was like this whole thing on his own, doing stuff, and
But the thing is, he wasn't a baddie. He was just a bad racial stereotype.
Yeah, he's St. Nicholas's.
so what did
So-
he do?
He would give good children candy canes and that.
Okay.
He never did anything bad. He would just actually give
Mm.
sweets and treats, but it was a white person in blackface.
Yes, with the big like pink
Mambo
sausage.
lips, as they used to call them.
Yeah, and the gold earring
Yeah.
thing that you see on like
Like the old Sambo cartoons. Ugh.
Yeah, I think the first appearance of Svartapete was in a story by a teacher in the 1850s.
Yeah.
And in the story, him and Nick arrive on a steamboat from Spain.
hmm
And it's like, and the stories are like he's either a freed slave, or Nicholas freed him.
Wow.
And now he's his friend.
I was honestly, with this episode so far, I was surprised that
What is that? Werewolves?
Are apparently a Christmas thing.
Don't have racism.
I was surprised that we got so far through all these things and racism didn't come up, given that all these different perspectives of Christmas. And there we go. I thought we were going to dodge the
I
bullet,
thought we'd have to
and-
finish on Black Pete.
It's
They've
important to
recently
mention, it's like-
banned. They tried to bring it back recently,
What?
politically correct it.
Yeah, they start saying like, "Oh, he's black because he's a chimney sweep." And he's not
Yeah.
Nash. And it's like,
No,
why
that's
does he have all the
that's
other
Rupert.
stereotypical things about him?
Yeah.
The curly black hair,
And the gold earring,
and the big lips,
and the white gloves.
Oh, and the white gloves too. Yeah.
They're a big thing because people who have a lot more melanin in their skin have less pigmentation on the palms of their hands because it doesn't receive as much sunlight. So evolutionary, you didn't need as much light on the inside of your hands. So people with more melanin have lighter skinned inner hands and soles of their feet.
And also, Spain was one of the big empires that used slavery. Oh, and the Netherlands too, actually.
Yeah, Netherlands, the Dutch
The
slave
Dutch
trade was a very big part of history.
Yo, get your
so
shit
it's like,
together.
if you know history and stuff and pop culture things, you're just like, nah, man, that's
not
just straight up
okay.
racist.
Yeah.
Stop doing
Point blank, just
Yeah.
done.
it. Netherlands, be better.
Now, as an interesting side note, when I forgot to bring my notes with me today, so I had to rely on my computer, I typed in Christmas beasts, and werewolves comes up. Apparently, if you were born on the 25th of December, it's mocking to Jesus, therefore you are punished and you are made a werewolf.
Wow. If you were born on the 25th of December, message us. We know your secret. We can help
But
you.
you only turn into a werewolf on Christmas Day.
We can help
We
you.
can help you. We'll hook you up with children to eat.
And merch. At merchbundle.com.
But I think this is all we've had time for.
We do.
We should thank our lovely guests.
Coco Macaroni.
Coco Macabre.
Coco Macabre. We love you.
Yes.
Okay,
Macabre. Because
Coco.
we're sick and twisted here.
Oh, yes. But we like candy. So.
We do.
I like candy. Do, 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 do. And that's enough before we get in copyright infringement.
But like every episode, we have one last thing to say. You need to always remember,
Drink the Kool-Aid.